In this video, I would like to show you a really handy trick to be more efficient in your design work and to save some time when you're tweaking colors for your patterns. So we created this checkered Christmas themed pattern using normal colors, if I may say so, but it is time that we start also getting used to using global colors, because in particular for pattern design work, this can be really, really handy. The one like a small disadvantage of using global colors is that they will be tied to a document. So if I had this Christmas color palette saved up here and I wanted to use it for another project, and it was previously set to global colors color palette, it would be only tied to this one document. I wouldn't be able to, when I'm browsing through my color palettes, I wouldn't be able to access it because this is an application color palette. And you can even see it here. There's like a little category name on a slightly darker background that shows all the application color palettes. Application color palettes in Affinity Designer, they will be accessible from any other new document or alt document that I created. A workaround for this is to save your color palettes as vector assets, just as you have seen before. Then you have access to your asset studio in any document, right? But with global colors, they're super handy. They will be only tied to this one document. You save and you create your all color palettes or swatches in accessing the hamburger menu, 3 horizontal lines. And here you have 2 options. You can either create or add a new application palette. So this is what we have done previously. And those application palettes will be accessible throughout the entire application. So in this case, my iPad in any new document that I create. Or we can add a document palette. So this is what we will do. Let's name it Christmas Global. So just for our reference, so that we know. And then we hit OK. And now from the node tool, it will be easier for me. I would like to add in all the colors, all the fill colors that I previously set for this pattern as global colors. So now I have this dark green selected, hamburger menu, and now that we created, so step number 1 is to add document palette. If a document palette wasn't created previously, this option, add global color, will be grayed out. It will not be accessible. But now we can just hit and add global color. I do not rename it because I want to be able later on maybe to tweak, change this green color to something else. So if I named it Christmas green, it would make no sense if I change it later on. So I just keep the standard name, global color 1. And when working with global colors, this is the only place where in the settings you can also access to change them to overprint and to spot colors, which are relevant for client work when you're preparing your artworks for specific print specifications, like requirements from the client. But we don't need that. It's just a personal project, and we just hit add global color. We need to select it by long pressing it, edit, and from the eyedropper we need to select that green. And now we have this green global color. We have a new category in our drop-down menu. So there was just application before. Now we also have a document color palette. It's called Christmas Global, so that we know. And if we go back to this original Christmas palette, you see that it's just squares of color, whereas global colors have this little triangle in the lower right corner. So now let's add this pink, add global color. Long press, we have to use this eyedropper from this menu, pink, and we have another global color. Another global color, long press, edit, and what else do we need? This red. And now the white. This is a bit of an off-white. You see my CMYK sliders here, that it's not perfect white, otherwise it would be all at 0%. So now we have our 3 global colors. So step number 1 was to create a new document palette, and then we needed to create our global colors and use the eyedropper to select the colors that we want to be part of this palette. But this is not the end of the task, because this is like a pre-created pattern. For the next pattern, we will be probably doing this from scratch. We need to apply those global colors again to this pattern, if it's like a pre-created pattern that was using application color palettes. But this one is super easy because it's just a few colors. So we just need to kind of hit it again. Pink for every element. So those two will be this off-white, this will be pink, and this will be red. And of course, this is something that I'm showing you afterwards, but if you know that you want to work with global colors from the very beginning, then you have to first create them from the very beginning and then start building the pattern. This is what we will be doing for our next pattern, of course. But this is super easy. We only had 4 colors here. Just have to make sure that we reapply those global colors now. Okay, so now what happens with the global colors? Let's say I want less of this pink. So I'm also long pressing the pink. You can rename it, but we discussed that it doesn't make sense because we want to be able to change basically those colors to something else. You can also delete it or you can edit it. And over here you also have different options. You can use CMYK sliders, you can use RGB sliders, or you can again use the eyedropper to select a color from something else. So let's say we would like to change this pink into something different, but you already see what I mean, that the color has been applied across our pattern and now it's much easier for me to adjust it. So you can change it, for example, to something more blue or something more green. Let's maybe change the pink to something more blue, and then this dark green also into another color. So we long press it, edit, and now we can start experimenting with it. And I also want to see what I can do with this red color. Maybe this can be a little bit more bluish. Maybe more of a magenta color. So now this palette, I can kick it out, or I can build a completely new color palette and also save it in my Asset Studio. Okay, so this was a short demonstration of how global colors work. This is still the same document color palette called Christmas Global, but the colors were edited. It's a really handy efficiency trick that is in particular useful for surface pattern design. I don't use it that much for general illustration or for kidlit art, but for patterns where we often work with a limited color palette, I think it's really super handy and it's worth knowing about. Alright, so those were the videos about creating a simple checkered pattern with 2 varying elements, also learning or refreshing how to use global colors. And now we will move to our second exercise where we take it to the next level. We will build a more complex pattern and we will be using global colors from the very beginning.